It seems on every corner, another new development. But how will the community around these projects change in the next 10, 20, 30 years? That was the topic up for discussion during a recent workshop.
What we're trying to do here is build the strength of the network that's going to plan for the future of our community.
City Manager Jamie Verbrugge wrapped up a conversation about preparing Bloomington for a competitive future. It was during an Urban Land Institute workshop where a panel of industry leaders weighed in on a variety of topics, including catering to millennials.
They're bringing in an entirely new kind of economy, and one of the things we're studying at the university is this so-called sharing, collaborative, on-demand economy that they are more comfortable in. So that, there's a tendency for us to say, well, they're renting now because they don't have a lot of money, but as soon as they get more money, they're all going to buy houses, and they're all going to want to live in the suburbs and have 2.5 kids, and just like everybody else. And the data doesn't show that at all.
Creating a sense of place within a community was also discussed. It's something people want more of these days, and Bloomington has been working to cater to that with these recent public art projects. These panelists say being a diverse and distinctive place is key.
People are looking for us to design a building that respects the history of a place and has some authenticity to it, but they're also looking for their experiences with other people to be different.
They want these kinds of serendipitous kinds of experiences. They want the unexpected, the authentic to happen. And this is something that cities used to do pretty well. And we have, as Colleen was just saying, tended to sanitize our cities, clustering certain socioeconomic groups in certain neighborhoods where everyone was alike. And actually, when you talk to millennials, they don't want that.
Members on the panel also suggested mixed-use developments are what residents want. It's what's being done at Penn and American with retail, restaurants, and apartments all in one place.
Provide places that allow people to put all of their lives back together again in one place.
And that may require rethinking zoning laws in current commercial spaces.
Considering that our current notions of zoning may be approaching obsolescence, and how we think about designating areas within our community should probably undergo a little bit of extra effort. We have aging commercial centers. We have to think about how are we going to repurpose those. I think the idea that commercial nodes today don't necessarily have to be commercial nodes tomorrow.
On the long list of points brought up, driverless cars came up again and again.
It's far out, but it's not very far away. And when it does come, it's going to change the way that we develop housing projects, and that's going to change the economics in a really significant way.
Within 20 years, that might be about the cycle to turn over the current fleet of conventional automobiles.
When you think of our land area, the amount of surface parking, the number of garages and driveways, the number of parking ramps, how much space we give in our cities to parking cars, and very quickly see a transformation into a mobility service transportation system, we're going to have a lot of land. A lot of land. And so I think one of the interesting opportunities is what do we do with all of this?
But building for the future and the now isn't so simple for developers. Carl Runk brought up preparing for the Mall of America expansion with driverless cars in mind. He said guests need parking now, regardless of what might happen with cars down the road.
They don't care about 10 years from now. They care about successful store sales now. So how do we plan for both? Satisfying retailers and the hotels we're trying to set up and office tenants today, and satisfy or plan ahead for the future when they're not needed. So it's a complicated challenge for us.
While all these ideas can't be implemented overnight, Verbrugge said there's a big opportunity to make these concepts a reality in the South Loop.
We have an area in our city that has the footprint the size of the central business district of downtown Minneapolis. And it probably won't fully be built out for 30 years. It also happens to be the area of town that has the most transit-oriented development. It has the most appeal for people coming to the community for entertainment, for hospitality because of its proximity to the airport. And so as we look at the 30-year build-out of that area, and then we factor in driverless vehicles and the generational differences and where they look for creating places, I have a feeling that our South Loop Development District is going to undergo a significant change.
But no matter what the future holds, change is the only thing every community can count on.